Now, this person in Hubbard, Oregon, is confused by the passage of Scripture in 1 Corinthians 11:21-34. She asks, does this passage mean that we should not be eating in the church?
Well, now, I'll turn and read part of this passage of Scripture. We begin with verse 21 and the 11th chapter of 1 Corinthians. It says, "For in eating every one taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry and another's drunken. What? Have ye not houses to eat and drink in? Or despise ye the church of God, and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. For I've received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you." Then he gives the instructions for the Lord's Supper. Now, we need to recognize here the situation that existed in the early church. The early church started off as a great communal group. They met together for their meals, and then they had what was known as a great love feast before they had the Lord's Supper. But in Corinth, that had degenerated down where each one brought his own dinner for the evening, and a rich man would bring in his, a poor man would bring in his sandwich, and there'd be some people not able to bring anything. And it just didn't look good, the rich man sitting there eating, a 7-course dinner, and the poor man actually not having anything to eat. And Paul is condemning that. That is no condition to prepare people to enter into the Lord's Supper. So he said, if you're going to do it this way, then eat in your own house if you're not going to meet together and share everything that you have. And I think today that church banquets have their place, but we always, here in America, we overdo everything. We do. Any good thing, we overdo it and ruin it. And every new church that's being built today has a better kitchen than it has an auditorium or a worship center in it, because dinners are pretty important today in the churches. Now, they can be made a very wonderful time of fellowship and a time of drawing together, but many of them I've been to have nothing in the world, but you just well go to the Rotary Club or the Kiwanis Club luncheon. It's all about the same. And when it's like that, it is a disgrace to the Lord, but they can be made something that is worthwhile. Now, we have found in our tour to the Hawaiian Islands that we now serve 2 meals, and it has absolutely remade our tours. We thought we had great tours, and I think we did. But now it's absolutely wonderful to have morning breakfast together and then have our Bible study around the tables, and it's a time of wonderful fellowship. And then after that, we do our touring. And then in the evening, we meet together and we have our evening meal, and then we have our service right around the tables. Makes it very warm, close fellowship, and it's been a blessing to people. I believe that can be made a blessing in the early church. That was the original purpose. But it's the condition of the people, I guess, that has a great deal to do with this.